Alright everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to show our install for VHF UHF antenna for ham radio. Let's jump right into it. So for this first part of the install, we're going to show off the antenna mast and how we have that set up, along with the grounding requirements for it, and then how we get the coax into our actual ham shack. For VHF UHF, that pretty much means a vertical antenna. You can go with a J-pole. There's a few other choices out there. Your most common you're going to see at the store when you're looking at it is going to be a vertical antenna. We picked a Comet GP-3 for our first antenna and have this set on this metal conduit here. I'm going to use my handy dandy pointer to point out some stuff on the install, how we did it, and how it all kind of ties together. So for the antenna mast, the first thing we did is we installed these Rohn wall brackets straight into the brick here. There's 5 screws. There's a bottom and a top mount that goes into the brick. The spacing, you need at least 2 foot of spacing in between them. The more the better. And those took about 30 minutes for the installation. We will show some clips of that along the way. Or if you saw our previous video on it, it showed how these Rohn antenna mounts installed. So So once we got the antenna mounts, these Rohn mounts secured to the house, we went and got some 1.5 inch metal conduit. We tied them into these Rohn mounts. They have 3 bolts here that you can see that snug into the metal conduit. And we ran that up and attached our Comet GP-3 antenna to the top of the metal conduit. And we'll scroll up so you can kind of see that. We will take some pictures and stuff so you get some better images there of that. So currently our Comet GP-3 antenna, the bottom of it starts at about 10 feet. It's about a 3 to 4 foot antenna, so it's up about 15 feet in the air. Currently where we're located, and this is terrain specific, we're hitting repeaters about 60 to 70 miles away, with the GP-3 up about 15 feet in the air. Once you have your antenna mast installed, you've got to run your coax cable down. We have a nice service loop, so there's no strain. It's got some bend relief on the coax cable. We are using DX400. It's an alternative to LMR 400. It's great for your VHF UHF applications. Has a very low loss for coax cable for this frequency range. So you'll see it comes down the pipe, comes down. We went to Lowe's or Home Depot. You can get them on Amazon. DX Engineering sells a pre-made one. We made this one ourselves. If we had it to do again, I would probably buy the pre-made from DX Engineering. But we did basically a junction box and then a short run with some conduit with a 90-degree elbow to take the coax into the house. Now we have this set up for scalability. Right now we only have our VHF UHF dual band radio in the ham shack. We're about to add in an HF radio. We have this set up so we can run some more coax in the future. So the next thing I'll show off is this box along with this conduit here and how we set that up. And then lastly, we'll show you the grounding and the ham shack on the inside. So Lowe's, Home Depot, Amazon, they sell these outdoor power boxes for about 50 bucks. As you can see, we got an 8x8. If I was doing this again, I would definitely go with a 10x10, a 12x12, or a little bit larger size. This works for our needs. However, it'd been nice to have some more room, especially with bending this DX400 cable. It is a little bit flexible, but is not super flexible. So as you can see, we kind of angled some of the components in there to make the coax run good. So the first part of this here, we have the coax coming from the antenna. We put some conduit mounts drilled out the side of the box. We have it coming in there. We can kind of foam close these off to keep bugs and insects out of there. The coax runs from there into here. We're using some lightning arresters. We have two different types of lightning arresters we're trying out. So our coax goes into that. From there, we have about a 2-foot jumper cable that goes through this small run of conduit pipe into this 90-degree elbow that is drilled out and is going into the house. Now, what we did for this box as we get back into this is you will see a square little plate. The screwdriver's going around the edge of it here. We can add or change lightning arresters if these ever get damaged in a storm, if we want to add a third one, whatever the case may be there. So pro tip, you can use 2 nuts, one on the back side, one on the front of this little blank plate to make a standoff. If you can't find any standoffs locally, it does the same thing and is set there. As you can see, we have a grounding cable here going into a grounding bar. It's the same concept as the plate and the lightning arresters. We can scale up and add and take away from that as needed. So for this, we have our ham shack ground from the interior of the house. It comes back out to this plate, ties into the bar. You will see a grounding rod cable come out. It ties into an 8-foot grounding rod we pounded into the ground. And when you're looking at this grounding rod, you will see 3 copper wires coming off of it. One, we have the antenna mast. The antenna mast is grounded to it. One is the ham shack ground. And then the third one runs over to our electrical panel where we get power for the house into it, and is tied into that ground as well. So that's a good recommendation, is to ground your antenna mast, ground your ham shack, and ground over to your electrical panel, so that's kind of bonded together. Now coming back up to the box here, you will see again our coax runs in from the side, comes into this lightning arrestor here. It starts down and goes out the other side through this short little piece of plastic conduit we have into this little junction box with a 90 on the back side. So I'll go ahead and remove the cover on this. Now what we did for this entry hole into the brick is we used a 2-inch hole saw designed for brick. If you watched our previous video, it was the thing we were most concerned about. Never really drilled through brick, so it was something new. We saw in some other videos, some people made it look super easy, so we decided to give it a shot. It took us about 5 minutes to drill this 2-inch hole through the brick. We're able to get the hole saw at Home Depot. They have them at Harbor Freight, Lowe's. You know, you got Tractor Supply, you've got Amazon. Just get a carbide tooth blade that's designed for brick or masonry, and it'll go right through. It made a nice clean hole. I don't know why we were so worried about it once we did it. It's not as bad as it sounds. And we will continue on with this. So you can see the coax is coming from this left side, and it is going out through the rear here, as well as that grounding wire all into the interior of the house, into the ground, into the ham shack. For new hams, we hope this helps you as you're on your journey to getting on the airwaves. All you Elmers, if you have different ways of doing this, please leave a comment down below and share your knowledge. Make sure you like and subscribe to our channel and leave some comments. That way we can continue to turn out videos for y'all.